しくする。
Hi friends, today we are going to look at the movie Perfect Proposal, which was released in Korean in 2015. There is a cool twist at the end of this movie. The film manages to capture the essence of crime, investigation and suspense. So friends, those who have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. Click on the bell button next to it, so we can go to our video without wasting any time. The movie starts with a rich city show at night. Casino, party, drinks and so on are all being enjoyed. Our heroine is running a small club in this city and her name is Jae-yeon. Jae-yeon, the club was started by another person in partnership, but without doing anything necessary for this business. This partner has been away from our heroine for 3 months. That's why Jae-yeon is working so hard to take this club alone. So now that all the drinks in the club have been served, she is meeting her friend and talking. Then the friend says to our heroine, "You don't have to pay a lot of people. I saw a notice on the way. That means an older person needs a caretaker. He is not an ordinary person. He is a good rich man. He has a lot of casinos here. He is also a very rich businessman. If you are interested, you can attend the interview." When the friend said this, our hero also bought a poster and read it. Then the friend says again, "But if there's a problem with this job, we'll have to do everything right now, as the businessman says, and if you're okay all that, then give it a try." It was while they were talking that she saw her partner, who had gone into hiding without seeing Jae-yeon. If he goes straight to the men's toilet. Our heroine went straight there without looking at anything. Jae-yeon says he has been looking for him for 3 months now. Then Jae-yeon goes to him and says, "I've seen you for 3 months. Where is the profit and money we got? If I were you, there would be a lot of people giving back cash right now. Please give me all the cash you have on hand." Then he says, "I went to the casino and enjoyed the money and ran out of cash. I also lost a lot of cash by gambling. If you want, I can go gambling again and make cash." Having said that, he leaves. By then, a lot of gangsters had come looking for him, because he had to give them a lot of cash. They know that our Jae-yeon and he run that club together, so they start scaring our Jae-yeon. "Your partner has to pay us a lot of money. This club is run by you and him, so you have to pay the full amount." They frighten her and leave. So now our Jae-yeon has no other choice but to go for the interview because she has a job in that poster that her friend said. When we got there, there was a guy who said he sung there to interview our heroine. He asks her all the formal questions and then asks, "Are you with your dad and mom now or alone?" Then she says, "There is no one with me. I am alone. My mother died in an accident." When our heroine is asked, "Why did you choose this job now?" "I have a lot of financial problems and a lot of people I have to pay for, so I took this job." He is very impressed with this. Then he says, "Let me tell you the details of the person who should be this caretaker before you join the job. His name is Kim and he is a millionaire. He has a lot of business and things as well as owning a lot of casinos, but there is one thing that no one outside knows, that he is a terrible bad guy. That is, he has a tendency to think that what he thinks is right is also a person who does not care what anyone says. He has no idea if the rest of us will do anything negative about what he is doing." After hearing all this, our heroine is sitting there not knowing what to answer. Then he says, "In the evening you should come to my place and meet me. There I can tell you the details about me and I will give you the perfect proposal for the job you are going to do now. If you come and meet me at the place I tell you, I will give you $1,000. Now that the scene is over there, our hero is also talking to her dollar. Sung told me to meet him at a place later in the evening, and he told me that if I just met him at that place he would give me $1,000. So when she says all this to that friend says, "Just $1,000 for attending an interview." I would not have thought of anything else at this point if I had been anywhere, and I would definitely have joined it if I had gotten a job like this. Having said that, there comes a scene cut. Now our hero also arrives at the place he said. So they meet him and they both start talking. "If you do not like the details of the job I am going to tell you now, you can stop it right away," he said. "Kim, who is going to be your caretaker, has no family, but he had an affair with a lady who worked at his house a few years ago, and since then they have had a child. But since then, Kim has cut off contact with them. The child they had that day was none other than Me," told our heroine. After his death, Kim signed a number of papers asking that all his property be donated to charity. Come to think of it, this is all I can get. Now if you have a mind, we can save all this from going to charity. All you have to do is try to impress Kim with something like you. Even if he marries you, after that all his properties will come to you according to the rules. After your marriage, I will kill him myself and pretend that he died of old age. Then we can share half of the properties that are going to come in your name. Then you can enjoy your life and move on." But Jaeyeon hears all this and says angrily, "This is the worst proposal I have ever heard in my life, and I don't even need this job," she says. Then Sung comes to her and says, "If you want to get the money you want, there is no other option than this." Our heroine gets angry when she hears all this and leaves. When she got home, the landlord came and said, "You have been renting the house for a long time, so when is the rent?" He looked to abuse her. From there, our heroine somehow escapes and meets Sung without any other way. When she comes and he says, "I knew you would definitely come, that's why I waited for you." The next morning Sung go to the shopping mall with our heroine. I know what Kim likes and dislikes. If you follow all that exactly, you can impress Kim. Kim's wife died in an accident several years ago. It was then that he had a wrong affair with my mother. After all this has happened, he has never been so close to anyone since. I work like a paw for him. He tells Kim a lot of things, telling her to do only what I tell her to do. So when that scene is cut out there, our heroine is on Kim's ship. There are a lot of people there who are cooks and workers, and they all come together and welcome Jaeyeon. After a while, Kim arrives to talk to our heroine, who is confined to a wheelchair because Kim cannot walk. When Kim arrives, he tells our heroine, "You're my caretaker, but you're the first daytime so past and now you have to do exactly what I say." Then she says, "I used to be a caretaker of a grandmother." Then he goes to them and looks at them, saying that they are not well. "Not only that, but I am going to join you now, so I don't need to look like everyone else. My name is Jaeyeon. You can call me that. Or you can call my number at any time. I'll come and meet you right away," he said, impressing our heroine Kim. Then the maid shows Jaeyeon the room to stay. Our heroine is now totally happy. So after a while, our heroine leaves the ship and meets Sung and talks. "I went in front of him with the same hairstyle, and dress as you said, and spoke as you said. I think he was impressed to hear me speak," she told Sung. Then Sung says, "You did your job right the first day. I did not think you would impress him so quickly. I came to tell you about another important thing. In front of Kim you have to stand in a way that you have no great interest in money or things that are costly, and then he realizes that you are not like everyone else." So the next morning our heroine goes and sees Kim and asks, "Did you eat all the sugar tablets and BP tablets you need correctly?" Then Kim says, "I feel like smoking now. How many dollars do you need for me to smoke just once?" He points to a box there and says, "Take all the cash in it." Then she says, "I have no interest in this money. Your health is important to me," so she performs. Then he took a costly ruby and showed it to our heroine and said, "Take it if you like." Our heroine picks it up and says, "I have no interest in any of this." So everyone who works there at night time also has a small party. Our hero and Sung are dancing together, so our Sung liked the heroine. "It's like Cinderella not to see you dance with me like this," he says. So while they are dancing, the heels of her shoes break, and after that the party is over and everyone goes to work. Now the scene shows Kim playing chess with the captain on the ship. The waiter who works there brings all the drinks we need for our Kim. Then Kim says to the waiter, "When you bring drinks like this, don't add too much water to it. I have to bring it whole." Our heroine, who arrived at the place correctly, saw them playing chess and told the captain, "If you make a movement like I say, you will definitely win this game." So our heroine tells the captain a trick. So the captain defeats the team and wins the game. Seeing this, Kim gets angry and starts to heat up next to our hero. Then Kim says, "If you have the courage, play with me. If you're successful with me, I will give you whatever you ask for. Do you have the courage to do that?" Then she says, "I will definitely win playing with you, and now you can cut my salary this month even if I lose." With that said, our heroine begins to play with the bet. So by the time the game is over, our heroine will have won it. Kim can't accept that Kim lost. Because he has an ego, he must be the best of everything. Kim is the person who wants everyone else to be under him. He now loses it and tells the heroine, "I will do whatever you want and whatever you say." Then our heroine says, "I saw a piano in your room. Can you give it to me?" Kim is suddenly terribly tense, and he tells everyone there, "You all go and look at your work." Told to ask our hero is Sung. Sung, things are going on there as planned now. After a while our heroine goes and talks to the waiter what's on that piano, asks. Then the maid begins to say, his wife and children all died in an accident a few days ago. He only played the piano when he was with his family. He never played the piano again after they all died. The maid tells the story behind our heroine. That's when she realizes why the piano itself asked her to ask for a gift. Then the maid says, "I just don't understand one thing. I add water to the drinks to keep Kim's in good health, but he has somehow figured out the subject and has no idea how it is. After a while we will understand how he knows that water is added to such drinks." After being cut there, now our heroine is worried that it was bad that she asked for that piano. She goes there thinking that she should go and apologize for the mistake she made. I now understand all the tragedy that befell the family. My mom and dad died in a car accident like this a few years ago, so I can understand your current plight. That's what the heroine is saying to Kim. But Kim doesn't even listen to it. Because Kim is an ego guy, so he says don't make any such sentimental promises to me. Get out of here right now. Then our heroine speaks to Sung. Didn't you tell me what's behind that piano? He's very emotional because I just asked it. She says that this one thing I did now went wrong. To be emotionally connected, I knew in that look that something was amiss, so they feel as if someone is coming to them while they are talking. Then they go and stand in a dark place. Then they both go very close and go to kiss our Sung heroine. But she quickly changes. He is now fishing in the Kim ship on the same morning. A fish carves on Kim's bait, but since it is a terrible weight, Kim is reluctant to take it. If Kim tries like this for a while longer, Kim will definitely fall into the water. The heroine saw this and told a cleaning boy to cut the rope and leave. When she hears that, the boy cuts the rope and leaves. Kim gets terribly angry with the cleaning boy when he does this. How dare you do this, for which you will surely be punished. He is told to eat all the food that was left there to catch the fish. He has no choice but to eat it. Seeing this, our heroine gets angry. She tells Kim, "You did the wrong thing right now. Don't do that to anyone." Then Kim says, "This is my ship. Things will go as I say. I do not want to hear what you have to say." He takes all the food and throws it at our hero's body. Then never see you again in front of my eyes. Get out of here. So when we get to that ship city, our heroine says I can't continue this job and leaves. So she comes home and remembers everything he said. That is, she wonders if it's right or wrong that she stopped working. So after a while Sung comes to her house. "Why did you leave the job in such a hurry? What a great plan we both made together. So our plan did not stop halfway. Please go back to that job to complete that plan." He looks at her and sings to calm her down. But she says nothing can bring me to work with someone with such an ego. Then Sung asks, "What do you want to do with someone like this?" Then she says, "It is better to kill such people than to live." After the scene is cut, we see the captain on the ship talking to our Kim. "The last few days have been as happy as you've been with your family before. I think it's because Jae-yoon has been there. Was with your wife?" After saying all this to Kim, the captain leaves. Then Kim realizes that what he did was wrong and Jae-yoon did it right. So Kim goes to see Jae-yoon. "I was wrong to treat you like that day. You should come back to work on my ship. I will double your salary." So when Kim told her, she said, "I have no interest in working for you on a big salary." That being said, Kim is looking to convince her as well. Then Kim says, "You're a terrible caregiver in my health. You stopped me when I went to smoke. All of this reminded me of my wife. I've met a lot of people in my life. You are so unique compared to the rest. Having said that, I was wondering if I should marry you." Our heroine was waiting for this one chance, so she speaks and agrees. Once the scene is cut there, the marriage party is put on his ship. Everything that prepares him for that party is our Sung. He then asks Kim, "Has the casino I've been asking for a long time hired someone else to handle it? I could have handled it myself." Then Kim says, "None of you handle it well? There was a servant who used to work with me. I entrusted it to them." That being said, it speaks as if insulting Sung. Then Sung says, "Why are you doing this? My mother trusted you so much, and was talking about you even when she was in bed at the last moment feeling unwell. Yet you do nothing for me." After hearing this, Kim says, "I don't need to talk emotionally right now. I'm always your boss. I'm a normal worker working under me." So now after that marriage function is all over and now Kim is talking to our heroine. Kim tells her, "You became famous when you married me. Most of the people on this ship now call you Cinderella. Now everything on the TV news channel is talking about our marriage. Why did you say Cinderella? Thinking about two lives. The first is to marry a prince and choose a very costly life. The second is to live with his family, which is always suffering. You have chosen the best of the two choices." Our heroine is listening to everything Kim says, so after all this, our heroine meets without anyone knowing. Then he says, "Now things are going as we planned, and now we can take half of what we thought would be over in a few days." Then Kim kisses our heroine. So the next day, as usual, when our heroine woke up, she went to Kim and saw that Kim was dead. Without telling anyone else about it, she quickly calls Sung. Then he says, "I did not kill him. I did not plan to kill him so quickly. I planned it at the right time. Now we must see to it that no one but the two of us know that he is dead. Kim's properties, he has done everything to come in your name, but it has not been officially received. When he dies earlier, everyone will know that there is something unusual about it." So we have to put up with it until the paper is all ready. Then he convinces our hero to adjust something, but she cannot accept it. Then Sung says, once we do this one thing correctly, all the problems in both of our lives will change. Our heroine has now set Kim in a wheelchair as if he is alive, somehow going from the ship to their building. Everyone there thought Kim was well drunk and unconscious, so she brings Kim to his room in the building. Then the servant who worked with him to meet Kim at the right time comes. Didn't Kim tell you about a servant before, Sung? This is the woman. Then our servant says, if Kim comes from the ship like this, he will eat a lot of food. So I made a lot of food that he likes. May I talk to him? Our heroine does not know what to say. He's not feeling well now, so he's not able to eat in this condition. And now that we're both married, I'm his wife. So I would not allow anyone to talk to him in this situation. So she tells the servant to leave. At this time, Sung comes there. At that moment, she asks Sung, where were you? Did you deal with the property? Sung says, I've been looking at everything. It's all ready in a little while, but before that we have a little problem. Everyone thought Kim was alive. If someone adopts him after Kim dies, he will know that he has not eaten anything. Everyone knows he's already dead. So, I have an idea. I have brought a tube. In it you have to insert food inside him. I can come and meet you in a while anyway. So from there it goes, Sung. Our heroine says, should I do this? I'm terribly scared to do all this. Sung calms her down and gives her courage and goes outside. Then the servant speaks to him as Sung and leaves. Kim is there, that newly married woman? I have some doubts about her. She does not allow me to talk as Kim. Did you meet Kim too? Sung says, I met him. He is resting because he is not feeling well. It is better not to be seen in a situation. Do you remember all the problems you went to and saw while sleeping like this that day? So all told, Sung scared her. When he heard that, the servant stopped talking about Kim. Now that scene is cut. Then someone knocks on the door while our heroine is sitting next to Kim. When she went in, it was the police. The police come and check on Kim. Then they realize that Kim is dead. Then the police see all the tube given to her to insert food. So the police take her away without even doing a question and saying that she is the one who committed the murder. Police then question all the workers who were on the ship with Kim. Then they say everything is our heroine. That means she was the one who carried Kim in a wheelchair. None of us were even allowed to go near Kim. Once there is a scene cut. When the body was adopted, they found out that he had died a day before he reached the city. Why did he convince everyone that he was alive? Why is he doing all this? The police are asking. Then our heroine says, I did not kill Kim. But after his death, Sung and I thought we could share his properties. So you call Sung and ask a question. But when Sung is called in for questioning, Sung says, I have nothing to do with what they say. In a case like this, there's a big punishment in it. With all this in mind, our heroine falls head over heels right there. So she was admitted to a hospital. Then Sung came to her and started talking. Then Sung says, it was all my plan. After Kim dies, all of Kim's properties will go to charity. That's why I appointed you as Kim's wife now. Then half of it will be passed on to you. But think about it. Why do I give you the property I am entitled to? That's why I finally made you a murderer now. Now that you've gone to jail as a criminal, you can put the rest of the property in my name. When I came home and met you, did you say that I had recorded that such people should be killed? Now I'm going to give it to the police. After saying that, he goes and gives all the evidence to the police. So that case becomes very strong. Thus all the evidence was received. So Kim's servant comes to see her while she is in jail, saying that it was our heroine who killed Kim. Then the heroine says, I have nothing to do with Kim's death, you believe me? Even though she said that, the servant did not believe her. So when it's time to go to the servant, our heroine says one thing. It simply came to my notice then. Kim would occasionally call me Cinderella. Similarly, we have two choices in life. The first is to live a very rich lifestyle happy, and the second is to live a very hard and unhappy life. I cannot go to jail for the wrong I did. Our Kim had already told our heroine a few years ago about this servant. When they hear that, they realize that there is nothing wrong with our heroine. Then the heroine says, I want to come to Kim's funeral now. If there's any evidence, I can prove I'm not a murderer. She says, only help me with this one thing. So our heroine goes to the funeral party. She's looking to get something out of there that can prove she did not do anything wrong. Then there was a waiter working on the ship, and he starts talking to our hero. I believed you well, but I never dreamed you would kill Kim. How did you feel like doing all? Kim trusted you so much. When I looked at the Kim tab, it was mostly your photos. That said, it shows those photos. Kim has a dog and I don't know what to do with it. So, after all the ceremonies, the cleaning boy on the ship comes and talks to us. I mean, I'm going to find a lot of evidence after searching the ship. I have a lot of doubts, he tells Sung. But the one who killed Kim is our Sung, so it would not be right to leave this cleaning boy like this. When he finds out, he takes him to his car and kills him in the car. He is then taken to a forest there and his body is dumped. With no evidence to prove our innocence, she has no choice but to flee, but she is caught by the police. So the police arrest her and take her away. Then while sitting in the car and looking at all the photos given to her by the waiter, she realizes something. That is, the photo of her on the ship was taken by someone without her even knowing it. Looking at the angle she has in the photo, it looks like someone took her from a CCTV camera. But she does not know where that CCTV camera was. Then when she thinks about it, she suddenly remembers something. If he had a dog, it would probably fit around his neck. Kim the camera fitted the dog's neck without anyone knowing. That's why Kim invented mixing water into whiter drinks at the start of the movie. He also knows what people around him are doing with this CCTV camera. But our heroine and Sung did not even meet or kiss on that CCTV, because the two met after everyone went to bed at night time. Then the camera around the dog's neck must be handed over to the police somehow. But then she realized that she could find out who was at the scene of Kim's murder and who committed the murder. Then at the same time, when they saw our heroine looking at the tab, the police bought the tab from them. After that, they are trying to somehow escape from inside the car, the police to prevent it. So the total distraction and the vehicle goes into an accident. Our heroine somehow manages to escape the accident. Then she picks up a car next to her. So as she gets in the car, she calls the waiter. I just escaped from the police. Isn't that dog with you now? Come with it to Kim's ship. After saying that, the waiter and her boyfriend come to the ship. At the same time, I remember what the cleaning boy said to Sung. That is, if you check the whole ship, you will find some evidence, so the evidence comes to the ship to destroy everything there. Now first Waiter and her boyfriend pick up the dog and come over, then comes Sung. As soon as they see Sung, they both try to escape from there. Then the waiter's boyfriend is sung and beaten terribly. Our heroine gets there just in time to pick up the white dog and run outside. He picks up the dog from the weight and pulls out the camera around the dog's neck. Seeing the heroine and singing, she begins to strangle him. But during the correct, the waiter comes and picks up a heavy object and hits Sung on the head. His consciousness goes away. There he gives the camera he got from the dog to the police. After watching the video recording, they realize that it was Sung that killed Kim. Police arrest Sung and put him in jail. It was also realized that our heroine had nothing to do with the murder that took place. Now Kim's properties are all over our hero. Now our heroine is going to maintain all the properties. She goes to jail to see Sung and then talks to him. Did you just kill Kim for money, or is there something else behind it? So when the heroine asks, Sung says, I mean, a few years ago when I was a little boy, my mother was sick and she was fighting for her life. She needed a lot of money for her treatment. I sent a letter to Kim about everything on this subject. After reading that letter, Kim sent me a letter. It read, I cannot help you. Don't bother me anymore, he said. So Sung to our heroine. When the heroine walks back after hearing all this, Sung tells her one thing. I got all these properties you are experiencing now because of me. You must never forget this one thing. Tells her. She turned around and laughed and left. The reason for that is that if Sung had not committed the murder, our heroine herself would have killed him. She managed to do this with Sung as she thought. The camera around Kim's dog's neck helped arrest Sung.